Everyone, back again with our irons versus red dot. We're here talking about zeroing. So for the red dot zero compared to, say, an iron zero, there's going to be a lot of a difference. Now, when we get a gun that just has regular standard iron sights, we usually don't, a lot of people don't zero it because, you know, it's usually already set for 25 yards and it's ready to rock and roll, and we'll just take it right out of the box and we'll shoot it and it'll be good, unless we see some drastic reason to actually check on it, or we see for some reason that when we're looking at it, the sights maybe are kind of out of whack or something. Maybe the front's not exactly straight somehow, or the rear kind of is over to one side. Then we're going to kind of, you know, adapt with it and kind of move it around some. But besides that, we usually don't zero irons for a pistol. And so again, that can be kind of your reasoning of why you would never want to get a red dot, but I'd say that's very small, not really important reason. It's a slightly little extra work with getting a red dot to zero, but after that, there's no difference, right? So when it comes to a red dot zeroing for a pistol, it's like the rifle. It's not necessarily about the distance and which one is the right one, the perfect one, the end-all be-all or something like that. It's a lot about knowing why you're choosing that zero distance and then how it plays into if you're going to shoot at other distances. So for a pistol, red dot zero, a lot of people either zero at 10, 15, or 25 yards. Those usually are pretty the most common ones. 25 obviously making sense because it's the one that the irons are usually zeroed at as well. 15 is kind of that intermediary kind of one that a lot of people like because it's really getting flat shooting to the zero and a little bit beyond as well. 10, a lot of people just like 10 because it's a nice easy 10 yards, and also sometimes that's maybe all the space you have. I'm here and I have a little bit more distance, but I am outdoors, and even some outdoor ranges maybe don't give you a lot of distance. Some indoor ranges, you really can't maybe do a ton, and some, even though they say they're 25 yards, they're necessarily not quite 25, so that kind of negates that one, and then it's up to you if you want to choose the 10 or 15. I'm just going to shoot 10 today, and I'd recommend, if you just want it a little bit easier, not necessarily having to really spend a lot of time on it, you can do kind of that closer distance so that it's easy to shoot and whatnot. I'm shooting at a B8 bullseye target over there, and obviously we got the X ring and everything like that, but to be a little bit more precise, I've got just a little 1-inch pasty on there that I'm going to actually be aiming for and try to get inside those. That's really what you want, is the main thing, is you're zeroing and trying to make sure that you are right in there within a 1-inch to have a zero confirmation. Okay, so it'd be something simple like this. I'm, you know, on here a bench and whatnot, which is a huge thing I'd recommend. A lot of people recommend as well. Obviously you can shoot standing and whatnot, but just like with rifle zeroing, a lot of times we're either on a bench or we're completely prone. You're having a much better stable environment and platform if you're shooting on something like this, like a bench, and maybe even, you know, an ammo can, or some people put in some of those like beanbag little pouches or things like that you can really rest on and move and settle into, and it'll give you that stable environment. It's just going to be a lot of extra work and a lot more of trying to control your human variables that's playing into that if you're standing and trying to shoot, or even just have, you know, just on a chair and trying to shoot. So instead, it's going to be something simple where I'm here and I have a light, so I'm able to push all the way in until my finger's there. I'm going to rest my elbows, right? I'm going to line my eyes on the 1-inch pasty that I have there, and then just superimpose that red dot right on there and take the shot. And I'm going to do that a few more times. So then from there, we're seeing up there, going to look, see, hey, do I need to adjust this at all? Is it right where I want it? You know, the usual elevation and windage adjustments. And then potentially, say, if you're not shooting at the 25 yard zero, you're shooting at the 10 or 15, maybe then you're going to then push out the target to the 25 or any other distance you want to, and kind of confirm that you're seeing, okay, yeah, that's shooting where I'm expecting it to shoot at that farther out distance. Maybe that's at a later date compared to maybe the one day you're doing a quick just zero at an indoor range and some other day you're able to go outside or whatnot, or just in general confirmation after you push the target out. But guys, there's not a huge amount of work difference. Like literally those 3 shots, I confirm I'm zeroed, I'm good to go, or I dial it a few more and I change some shooting and then I'm zeroed in. It's not a huge amount of extra work that you should necessarily look at one over the other because of too much work on either of them, okay? But there it is, simple as that, with all these little extra things that you want to make sure you're doing for zeroing your red dot.